Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at our CURT Class III hitch for 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. Our CURT Class III hitch we have on our Jeep today is going to be a gloss coated finish. It's going to be a really durable finish and going to help hold up from any kind of rust or corrosion. This hitch is really cool how this one is set up. This one's going to hide behind your little cover, and you're not even going to see that there's a hitch on here during your normal daily use when you're not using your hitch. So that's really cool. It just tucks up behind. As you can see here, you just put your cover back on and turn your little knobs down here and it completely hides it. When you need to use it, you just turn your two knobs and pull off your cover and you're ready to start towing. This hitch is going to be a 2-inch receiver, so this is going to hold most of your really popular accessories. Most everything is gone to the 2-inch receiver. This one's going to hold a tongue weight of 750 pounds, and that's pushing down on this portion of the tongue. So that's going to hold most of your bike racks with a bunch of bikes on it. You know, maybe you've got some heavier e-bikes. This is going to be able to hold up to that for you. Maybe you carry cargo racks in the back with you, have a bunch of camping gear, and you're going out of town maybe and you haul a bunch of stuff with you on that. This is going to get it done with that tongue weight rating. This is going to have a gross trailer weight rating of 7,500 pounds, and that is going to be the trailer and everything that you have on it. Now you do want to keep in mind that you want to check your owner's manual and make sure that you're not going over or exceeding either one of the numbers between your hitch or your vehicle. So just stay with the lower number between the two. Your hitch is going to have your welded on plate style chain loops here, and that's going to be able to accommodate your S style or your clevis style hooks. So either one of those, if you have on your trailer, are going to work for you. It's going to have a 5/8 pinhole opening in the side of your hitch, and that's going to lock in any of your accessories that you have on there. Now this hitch won't come with the pin, so you may want to pick one up here through eTrailer when you put in your order. Also, another nice thing to have with these is going to be a locking pin. So say you have your bike rack on and you go out on the trail and you just leave your bike rack on your car. A locking pin is going to be really nice to have, so it locks it in place, so while you're out on the trail, no one can take your bike rack off and disappear with it. All right, as far as your measurements go, from the center of the pinhole out to the edge of the bumper, you're looking at right at around 2.5 inches. Now with that measurement, it's going to help you decide on if you have any accessories that fold up, if you're going to be able to fold them up and not make any contact with the back of the vehicle. From the top of our hitch to the ground, we are looking at about 22.5 inches for that measurement. With that measurement, that's going to help you decide if any of the accessories that you have are going to need any raise in the shank to help you have clearance so you don't bottom out on anything on the ground with your accessories when you're pulling anything. So if you're looking for a good hitch that can haul quite a bit of weight, this is going to be a really good option for you on your Jeep. And like I said before, a really nice thing about this one is it does hide behind your panel, so you're not going to see it when you're not using it on a daily basis. As far as installation for this hitch, it can be a little bit tricky. You are going to have to remove your rear fascia to get it installed. You probably will have to remove a couple of your exhaust brackets as well, but it's really not that big of a deal. If it's something you really don't have time to do yourself, you can always take a look at our dealer locator and have it done somewhere locally for you. Or if you feel like doing it yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to have 4 10mm bolts along the back. We're just going to go ahead and get those all removed. On each side of our vehicle, in our rear fender well, we're going to have 4 of these 8mm screws on each side. We need to take all of those out on both sides. On each side, we're going to have our trim that comes around the back of our fender. We need to pop this loose. You just want to carefully pull this out at the bottom. Kind of get your fingers behind it and just start working your way up. Just apply a little bit of pressure. And this will pop out for you. Now you just want to pop back far enough where you're going to see a 10mm bolt right back through here. One thing I like to do is take a rag and just stuff it behind our trim. Now be careful, you don't want to bend this too much because you can get a white crease in it. So just be careful with that. You just want to push it out enough where we're going to be able to get at that 10mm bolt right behind there. Once you get it broken loose, give it a few turns with like a 10mm wrench. That way you don't have to bend this out too far to get a ratchet behind there. What I'll do is just break the rest of it loose. With my fingers, I can just back it off. That's a lot faster that way than trying to get it with a wrench, but once you get it broken loose, you'll be able to pull it right off of there. Behind your passenger side fender well, just pull back on your cover, which is your fender well liner, and you're going to have a plug back here. Just pull back on the white tab that's behind it, and once you do that, once you get that to click back, push in on that tab and then pull back, and that's going to disconnect your harness. And that's one important thing to do. And you always want to remember to plug this back in after we put our fascia back on. One of the easiest ways we're going to be able to do this, to take our fascia off, is to remove our taillight lenses. So right here on the inside of where our hatch goes, we're going to have this plastic part. All we're going to do is grab that and try and pull it straight back. And as you can see, it just pops in with these clips. We're going to do that on both sides. On the back of our light here, we're going to have a Torx bit. Just going to get those backed out. Now once we do that, with that out, we're going to go ahead and just pull our light out sideways carefully. And as you can see here, I do have blue tape all around all of our seams and around our light. That way we don't have any scratches. But just be careful with your light and just get it to pop straight out the side. Now we get to that point. Now we have another clip. So we'll pull our clip back, push in on our tab, pop that loose. Now we can remove our taillight housing. Now we can start popping our fascia loose. I'm just going to get behind where our trim is. You're going to have where your bolt was that went through. Just want to get your fingers behind that and kind of pull out. As you can see, it basically pops in place behind there. We'll get it to that point right there. Now while we're holding it up along this back edge, you'll notice that it wants to kind of stick right here in the front. So what I'll do is kind of lift up on it and then work it back and get it over that lip. We'll do that on both sides. Now we'll start to remove our fascia. Keep in mind, you may need to have a clip tool and a light so you can see back behind here, because it really clicks in tight behind this. Keep that in mind and just work at it and just be careful with it and you'll be all right. When we're removing this, we want to make sure we're looking for any electrical connections. Now, just like on our other side, we're going to have one with a gray clip. Push down, pull this back, push down on this. And pop that apart. Now we can remove our fascia. These are the tabs I'm talking about. You're going to have a piece of plastic that these pop back into. So you may need to take a trim tool and either push back on the little white parts that come through, or try and get behind there and push down on the tabs and pry up on the inner lip of it just a little bit, and you'll get it to pop loose. Now on the rearmost part of our Jeep, we have these little mounts, and up in this pocket, we're gonna have a 13mm bolt. We need to get those removed. Now I did not use a strap to support our exhaust because we have our exhaust supported back here. Now we'll just bend that down out of the way, and we'll do that on both sides. Now on the sides of our frame, we're gonna have 3 on each side, and they're gonna be 21mm. We're just gonna remove these, get them out of the way. Once we get down to our last bolt, we want to make sure we're holding this in because it can fall out on you. So just go ahead and hold it while you're breaking your bolt loose. Now we can slide our hitch out of our frame rails. On the inside of your frame, you may have a little bit of a dirt built up or some little bitty rocks and stuff like that. You want to get it pretty clean. I really like to wipe them out real good, and just the area where our hitch is going to be, especially in the bottom of it. Just get that all cleaned out. That way, when you put your hitch in place, you don't have any little rocks or anything in there. So when it all comes tightening down, you don't have them rocks in the way and everything sits in there nice and level. Now we can get our hitch put in place. We're just going to slide it into our rails. Okay. Now I like to take one that's going into the bottom, drop that in place, hold our hitch up, go and get our flanged nut, start it on, bring it up finger tight as far as you can. That's going to help hold your hitch in place while you get the rest of your hardware in. Now I did have room to get my hand in to drop this one in place. You may have to wiggle your hitch around a little bit. And just get it to pop down. You can even hold down on the top of the carriage bolt if you want while you're starting the nut. Just get that run up in place. Now we'll come back through and get the rest of our hardware in place. Now in our kit, we have this carriage bolt, and that's going to replace the bolt that we took out for our exhaust hanger. Now you're going to have the smaller square, which goes into your hitch itself. You'll notice that in there. It's going to pop that through. Now you may need to pull that up while you're putting your exhaust bracket back in place. Just go ahead and get that through there. Just put the nut up in. This can be a little tricky because it is in the pocket. As long as we have it started and run up far enough, we'll just leave it at that and we'll come back and tighten it up. Now we'll come back through and finish up the rest of our hardware. We have our carriage bolt. It does come with fish wires in the kit. You can do it that way. But I'm able to get my hand in here pretty easily, so that's just how I'm going to do it. I just want to get my carriage bolt to seat into the square. It's built into our hitch. Just get our hardware started. And we'll do the same thing with both sides. With all of our hardware in place, we just want to make sure we like where the center of our hitch is sitting. Right here, I have it centered up almost perfect. So we're just going to come back through and tighten up our hardware. What I like to do is start with the bottom one on these. That way it's going to snug it down. So just don't have to get crazy with it. We just want to get it snugged up. Start with those on both sides. And then we'll come back through and do the side ones. Now we'll tighten up our exhaust ones up in this pocket as well. Now we'll torque down all of our hardware to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. Now that we have our hitch all torqued down and everything looks good and we like the way it's sitting, we can come back through and install our fascia in reverse order that we took it off. And that was a look at our CURT Class III hitch for 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.